Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for you. And before we get into anything, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour, and coming up June 26th at 6 p.m. is Virtual Fight Tour 9. Make sure you go ahead and get your tickets at vfttv.myuventex.com. It is this weekend. It's for amazing fights. Make sure you go ahead and get those tickets now. Don't wait. All right. Gentlemen, it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot. We got the battle, we got VFT, so we got to get a lot of all the stuff in, and let's see how well we do. So there's not going to be any music. Let's just jump right into it. I don't care about how your weeks went,
because you know what at least my weekend was like. Because you was there.
Pretty much.
Right.
So with that being said, happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Yeah, so Lowe's, Chris, happy Father's Day. Hope you guys had a great time this Father's Day. I'm gonna let y'all talk real quick. Go ahead and say something, guys, gentlemen.
What you want to say?
I don't care.
Say something. All right, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. All right, let's jump straight into Battle of Atlanta. Chris, overall experience, you were there, I was there. Overall experience of Battle of Atlanta, how did you like it? How did you feel?
Sport karate was pretty strong.
It was.
I liked it.
It was.
Competition level was high. High. The numbers were pretty high, and each of the divisions was pretty high.
They had 40 open weight people.
40 people in the open weight. Was it like 10 or 11 teams?
Wow.
They had a good turnout. It was good turnout. It was ran efficiently. It wasn't like lagging the whole weekend. Although the internet was.
The internet was lagging, but
internet was pretty bad there.
Was pretty on point.
I have Verizon. I didn't have much of a signal either, so it was just bad all around as far as streaming goes for me anyway. For people who are like Sprint and T-Mobile and AT&T and everything else, I don't know what their situation was, but mine with Verizon, it was trash. So
my service wasn't very good.
Yeah, so it just was what it was. But as far as the experience of being there, it felt good to be back at a tournament for however long. Because I didn't stick around. I wasn't there that much. I was there. I got there just to see the fighting, bail out, came back, bailed out. So for me, it was just kind of like, all right, this is kind of cool. But
that's cool.
Yeah, it was good to see people. I hadn't seen people in a while. Ray popped up. So it was good to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while. So
I thought just from the just on the outside looking at some of the videos and stuff, like the energy, it seemed like it was like old school, like not old school, but just like kind of like good, like Battle of Atlanta, what you would expect as far as just the competition level, like you said, just the bodies, really the bodies, man. I think the bodies and the level of competition that was there, I thought it was pretty impressive for the first like real event to open up like that.
Yeah, it was good, man. There's a lot of energy in that building.
You're not lying about that.
Yeah. So, Chris, where you want to start? Do you? I only got to see open weight and teams.
Man,
Pro 0.5 on Friday night, so I didn't see some of the stuff that happened earlier in the day because they had a lot of different divisions running. So I had no idea.
Battlemania and all the Battlemania divisions. That was pretty cool. The double elimination divisions. What else did they do?
Tag team,
mixed doubles, tag team, and then something else. Oh, continuous. Yeah, there were 7 in the lightweight men's double elimination division. There was only 1 mixed doubles team. I think there were 2 tag teams, which they were down in the other division. I didn't get to see them. But for me, I judged the 12 to 14-year-old open weight division. 27 kids were in this division.
Now, when they do the open weight in juniors for 12, 14, is it all ranks or is it just all?
I believe it's all ages and all ranks. I didn't have anybody that I saw that I can remember that was an underbelt in that division either.
Okay.
Like,
I was just curious.
it was
I
a
was just
big
curious.
division. And then we had the same age group in the ladies, 17.
Nice.
Yeah. And the 15 to 17-year-old one had like 15 or 16 as well. Like, it was good numbers. It was good fighting. It was good fighting. I was impressed.
Yeah.
And then we can get all over into the because like I was listening to Raw. Mimi was talking about the legend girls. Natalie is the short 16, 17-year-old, and then Alexi Jimenez is the other tall girl, not Cassandra, but Alexi. They're good up and coming young lady fighters. There's a bunch of young ladies.
As a matter of fact, make sure if you guys have not listened to Raw, make sure y'all go ahead and listen to Raw with Regina and Willie, because they had a different perspective because they looked at certain different divisions. Like I said, I only got to see open weight and teams and pro point stuff at the nighttime on Friday, and then Saturday I saw the heavyweight, the heavier fighters, the heavy side of the bracket, and then the runoffs, and then the stuff that happened in finals, but. That was really only things I saw. But Regina was given a good detail and breakdown about some of the women fighters. And Willie, I saw some of the 30+ fighters, so he gave a breakdown of what was going on over there. Yeah. But sorry, let's get to it. Let's get into because Chris, were you judging at that point? You were judging some of it.
I judged most all of it. I judged Friday. I judged open weight, one of the rings with me, Terry Kramer, and Alex Lane. We had the bottom half of the bracket, and then the top half of the bracket was over with like Jeremy and.
That's the ring I saw. I was trying to keep an eye out, so I took like a ton.
Oh,
I took a ton of notes this weekend.
Oh my goodness!
I just kind of I guess. Wow. So I just kind of back and just kind of gave an overall impression of each one of these fights that I saw. So let me start with the open weight, and it was Jamal versus John Curatolo.
Yes.
Jamal won. He got a lead and just maintained it. Made John missed a lot. And I think that's when I walked in. I think that fight was getting ready to. I remember that fight, so I didn't get to see much of it. And then Bailey versus D. Stacks. Bailey won. He controlled the match.
That was my ring.
Yeah. So I was kind of just like,
that was a good fight. That was a good fight.
Jamal versus Ibrahim. Jamal won. And it was he rode the defensive sidekick to get an early 4-1 lead, and then won at 6-3, and just kind of maintained it at that point. Over Ibrahim. Luis versus Colocho. Luis Nunez from DKS beat Colocho 10-6. He got a 4-point run after it was tied 2-2, and he just kind of kept the lead after that. So I was actually impressed with Luis at that because I've been watching him over the course of the pandemic, and he's been one of those people who's always fighting.
Colocho is the young dude from Mexico, right? Or not? When I say young dude, I want to say, is he the one on Proper?
Yes.
And
I believe they're from.
But he's like 30, right? 30, 31, 32.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he was like a young guy when we was coming up. He was like one of the younger Mexicans when we used to do the NBL circuit there, Trav. So I remember he's always come up and talk to us and stuff. If it's the same kid, I think. Yeah, I think
that's him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Is he Mexican?
I'm not going there because I don't know. So I don't. Is he Guatemalan?
I want to say he's Guatemalan.
He may be from Guatemala. Yeah.
Okay,
it's possible.
I think he's Guatemalan.
Schumann, right? Schumann is that's the
Guatemala.
Right? Yeah. All right. So then it was Anthony Merricks and Henry Wees. All right. Ant won 9-5 with a reverse punch clashes first 45 seconds. Or the first 45 seconds they were just slamming each other with reverse punches. And Ant gets a skip side and takes a 2-1 lead and runs 3 reverse punch blitzes to extend the lead and win. And he won the 9-5 because they were just exchanging reverse punches, clashing. It was just kind of Oscar Guzman versus Terry Lee. Oscar won 8-0. This one was an interesting fight. All right, so it was Jalen Lazenby versus Dylan Brandis, right? They exchanged points, and then Jalen dropped Dylan. Like, he dropped him. Like, Dylan was down.
Body shot, headshot.
Oh, I think it was a body shot.
Okay.
I think it was a body shot. I can't remember. I didn't write it down, so I can't 100% remember. But I don't. But what happened after that is Dylan got up. After he took about 3 minutes, he got up and just picked Jalen apart. He just picked him apart. Like, it was just clean. Like, it was almost like that shot woke Dylan up, and he just started picking him apart and won 8-2.
And who was the?
Yes. 8-2.
Wait a minute.
Lost his face. What?
I'm thinking you about to say he came back and won like 7-5 or something.
No.
8-2?
8-2. That's what I said. It was
early in this fight.
It was the beginning of the fight. Like, Jalen came in and dropped him, got the point, and was 1-1. And it kind of woke Dylan up. And Dylan was just focused. I think Jalen just kind of took it that he was going to be scared or something, but it didn't work that way. Dylan 8-2.
You sure that's an accurate score?
Bruh, yes. Because I remember thinking, like, dang, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go after that.
Is this the same kid that fought at Pro Point?
Yes. Yep. He actually won. I think he won lightweight.
Who?
Dylan.
He won what?
What division did?
He was in the first.
No,
Pro
I mean
Point.
no. Lasby. Was he is that the same
Jalen.
kid that is Jalen the one that fought Pro Point that one time with dreads, right? Tall kid with dreads?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
and Dylan was the one that was going to win one of the fights, I think. So I was like, I'm going to pick him because he's tall, lanky type dude, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Possibly. I don't know. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so now we go to the next fight. Tyson versus Luis Rivas. Tyson won 8-3. Just defensive side kicked him, and he kind of just had control of the whole match. Two Lions Paw teammates have their first fight against. Yeah, okay, this was interesting.
Yeah,
this is kind of messed up.
School.
Yeah, they were from the same school, but because this is not the first round, they have to fight each other because that's the way it came out, and it's kind of messed up because this is open weight, and you just like you travel here just to have to fight your guy, like your teammate. Yeah, that's kind of messed up, and there's nothing you can really do about it. It's just a messed up thing. Like, I would be really disappointed if I came all the way to Atlanta or whatever, going come to this tournament, and the first person I have to fight is
the
my
dude that
teammate.
rode next to me on the plane.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so Jamal fights Luis Nunes. Luis surprised Jamal with precise kicking and blitz. He kind of kept Jamal at bay, and then Jamal made a late rally, but it wasn't enough, and Luis won 7-5.
Yep.
Ant versus Oscar. Oscar won 7-1. After each Oscar kick, when the judges said go, 7-1. After each Oscar kick, when the judges said go, Ant would close the gap, and Oscar would just instantly step in with a back fist. He did it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, and I think that's how he scored most of his points. He scored with a 2-point kick, then scored another point. That'd be 3 points. Scored a 2-point kick, stepped in with a back fist, and it was kind of like clockwork that it was going to happen. He frustrated Ant, and that was it.
7-1.
7-1. Ben Mull versus Dylan Brandis. Ben takes 3-1 lead behind his left hand reverse punch. Dylan comes back and takes a 3-4 lead. 3-4 with timely blitzes and step ins. Ben comes back and scores 4 straight points and wins 7-4. It was a good fight. Like that fight was going back and forth. You didn't really know who was going to win.
Chris, this wasn't your ring though.
Nope.
No. I was sitting there on the edge of I was standing because people were standing there, and I had to stand up, and I had the front row seat. But the way they positioned the door, I didn't particularly care for it. The door was like right next to the railing of the ring, so they had to keep that open, so people would just keep stopping in front of you and standing and watching. But there was two doors. It was that door that's right there, and there's a door behind us. And they should have actually had that door be the open door to come into that room.
Yep.
And everybody would have been walking behind, and you could have put the seats up against the railing, and it would have been a better layout. But just was what it was. Anyway, all right, next fight. Which one was that? That was Ben and Dylan. That was a good fight. Then it was Tyson versus Daniel Muhammad, right? Back and forth exchanges to a 6-5 score. Daniel gets tired, and Tyson runs off 5 straight easy back fist to win 11-5. That one was actually good because I was interested in watching Tyson in this particular match just to see how he was handling somebody who I don't think he was particularly paying attention to.
Right.
Thinking that it was just going to be an easy fight, and Daniel was if Tyson got up, yeah, he came out, and it's one of those things that you kind of watch and see him like, oh, okay, yeah, this is blah blah, but it always comes down to that last 30 seconds, last minute, and the better fighter usually pulls away. All right, let's get into the next one. Oscar versus Luis. Yo, they came out and kicked each other in the head, like back to back. Boom. And then the other one kicked the other one in the head. And after the first minute, it was tied 4-4. Defensive sidekicks dropped Luis to break the tie 6-4 with 38 seconds left. Luis milked it. He kind of just took his time to get back because he got dropped by Oscar. And after that, Oscar just kind of kept him at bay and won with his kicks. He just kind of kept him at bay and won with that score of 6-4. Nothing else pretty much happened. Luis couldn't really get out of it. I think this one was in your ring, Brandon and Edgar.
Yep.
I think that was in your ring.
That was in my ring. I was going to say, Edgar fought in my ring. He fought pretty well.
Yeah. Edgar, Germany. He's with DKS.
Luis.
Yeah, he's with DKS, right? Damian Rodriguez people.
No, I don't think that.
Wait,
I think he's with Luis. I think they're in where they at in like Tennessee or something.
I got something in my eye. Yeah,
but yeah, it looked good. So what do you got on the Edgar and Brandon fight?
Edgar Lentz gave Brandon some problems. 7-5 with 27 seconds left. 2 blitzes. Brandon ties it, and then Brandon won it 8-7 with the underneath reverse punch. And he won it 8-7.
He went to the well too many times with the back fist first, and Brandon timed him underneath.
All right. Then we got Tyson versus Ben Mole. It was 3-3 after 1 minute. I started doing that, like just waiting to see what after the first minute was going to be like and get the final score. It was 3-3 after 1. Then Tyson ran off 3 in a row, take a 6-3 win, and then won 8-4. Oscar versus who? Tyson.
Tyson's getting busy.
Tyson's a problem. Like when you already at this young age, he is a problem out here. So Oscar
busy.
Oscar versus Tyson. All right. Oscar took a 2-0 lead. Tyson ties it up with step in back fist. Tyson takes a lead on a step in, a third one, and he steps in on him again, gets up 3-2. Oscar ties it up and then takes the lead. Tyson takes it back, and Oscar wins it at the buzzer with the blitz 5-4. So they were going back and forth. Tyson had to come back to tie it up, and then Oscar won it right at the buzzer. So then it was
you just railed off like probably 6 or 7 fights.
Oh, it was more than that. Yeah, it was a lot.
Your first fight, one of your first fights was Bailey and Derek and
D-Stacks.
D-Stacks, but that was the other ring.
That was in my ring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was gonna say where did Bailey come back to fight at?
Yeah, I didn't get to see
Bailey.
that.
Bailey honestly had the hard road to through that division. He had kind of had a D-Stacks, and then He had spreads the rest of the matches until he fought Brandon at the finals of that ring,
which I was about to get to. Brandon versus Bailey. Winner gets Oscar. I wrote. They exchanged blitzes, and then Bailey ran off 4 straight, and then he protected the lead with clashes. Head kick 5. Bailey got 9-3 lead, and when he wins 9-4, he gets a head kick. It looks like I think he gave Bailey a head kick 9-3, and then he won at 9-4. So yeah, that was in it. So that left Bailey versus Oscar, who you guys saw in the finals that night. Any thoughts on just the open weight of everything I just ran off?
There were some good fights. I'm trying to remember all the ones that were in my ring that I judged. I was trying to remember the points and the fighters. But there was this other guy from Guatemala, Christopher. I don't remember his last name. He was pretty darn impressive. I think he lost to Edgar in a close fight. There were some awkward fighters in that
on that side of the bracket.
Man, there were some sights to be seen in that division over there. But yeah, it was some good fights. Brandon fought well. I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember who he fought, to be honest. It was all a blur.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to team fights.
Team fights.
Chris, you can talk about this one because I honestly I think I might have missed the beginning of this because I wasn't really sure, but it was All Stars versus Legend.
Oh, that was
and this is the Jamal.
Fight. That was the second fight. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's why I started with team fights, and it says All Stars versus Legend. So I missed the first part of it, and I was just kind of walked over and saw it, and then this is where Jamal got into it with who was he fighting from Legend?
Ibarra. Jose.
Oh yeah, right. And some late shots were happening, right?
Yeah, there were a couple of
I don't know who hit who late first, but it was some late shots, and it turned into, hey, let's do this for real or whatever. And Jamal's kind of like, it is what it is. What's going on? So it was.
You seemed a little heated.
What?
If I'm recalling right, I think I saw you going across the ring to the other side too, kind of barking or something. Was that you?
I may have barked a little.
Yeah, I do. I remember. I know.
Well, so what happened was Jamal was throwing with a little bit of oomph behind what he was doing. It was.
If it was a big dude, though, it was a bigger dude. Like, I mean, I would hit him too.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think he's that much bigger than Jamal.
No,
he looked bigger. Maybe Jamal just fights.
They fought in the same division, I think. Or no,
they about the same size.
Fight heavy, and Jamal fight light heavy. But no. So they were exchanging back hard and whatnot, and then Jamal hit him with a step off back fist, and kind of turned him with a little yeah, and then Jose like bent him over and he punched him in the back of the head late hard. So Jamal stood there for a second and turned around and baited him into the corner and threw a real hard ridge hand to the body, and then walked all the way back to his line, and Jose ran at him and then like swung. Jamal just kind of happened to see it and duck underneath it, and it whiffed by, and then they got words, and then Jose went up and like headbutted Jamal, and that's when I got in the ring, and I turned around, and the little voice in the head was like, hit him in the jaw, but I didn't want to get the team disqualified, so I just pushed him and was like, hey man, calm down, one of them things. And then
I was wondering, I saw it. It looked like you were like speaking to him like you don't want to do this right now. You don't want.
Yeah, we about
to bring to you like
go
back to your side, go back to your
like calm it all down and head on back over there, because it's not some of the other teams that you might try that with. Because like Raymond was there, Jack was there, Robbie was there, I was there. Like it was like the whole squad was there on the side. We were missing Carlos, of course, and Hugh Daddy, but yeah, everybody was kind of there, so it was just like.
Who was the first fight? Was it John Mercado versus Tobias?
No, not Mercado. Mercado couldn't fight. He wasn't supposed to.
Oh, that's right.
It was John Cortolo versus Tobias.
Okay. All right.
Tobias is the next gen kid, right?
Yes.
Okay.
From Argentina.
Who trained with you on Sunday?
No, that was today. That was this morning.
That's today?
That was this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we'll probably do it tomorrow too.
All right.
At 10.
Well,
so if
okay.
anybody listens at 8.
Come on down or up or over.
Wherever.
Anyway. Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
then next.
So then it was Kevin and Oscar Coca.
Yeah.
And then
you guys
Kevin kept the lead. Yeah. And we won.
Yeah, you guys won. And then the other fight was I
already know which one it is.
Every doggone year this is gonna happen. ATL versus Straight Up.
Again.
Yeah. Once again, Jalen and Brandon get into it.
They fought
Jalen's
this year though.
Jalen's the one I got beat 8-2, right? Or 8-1, something like
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Young kid.
Yeah, he fought this year. He fought Brandon instead of I think he fought Romani last year, maybe, or he fought Bailey last year.
No, I thought it was Brandon.
No, Trey fought Brandon last year.
Okay.
Trey fought Brandon in teams last year. Jalen fought Brandon this year.
Okay. So it was him and Romani who got into it last year?
No. It was Brandon and Jalen. No, who?
No, because I thought that's how the whole thing started with Jalen and Brandon fighting at Pro Point, because Jalen and Brandon got into it at the battle last year. I thought I could be wrong. I don't know.
I thought I remembered Trey fighting Brandon in the teams.
I remember Trey yelling at Brandon.
I remember all of that. Yeah. So I don't remember. You might be right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they got into it again. At some point, I think Jalen missed him, and he went head first into like the wall or something, or fell down. Something happened, and he kind of fell down. And then words were exchanged again. And it just kind of escalated where, too many people were arguing. Let's put it that way. Too many people were yelling and saying all kind of crazy stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it got very heated and Straight Up won.
Yes.
Really won last time too?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't trying to make a point or anything. I was just
just asking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they won.
So what's the point? Like why all the extra stuff?
Well, okay. From what was told to me, that one of them, like Brandon bumped Jalen and said, "I knocked an expletive out," and Jalen was yelling at him about it, and that's what kind of made Trey get
both sides were chirping through the whole.
And everybody wanted to get the last word.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody wanted to get the last word.
All the way through the who was it, Bailey and Trey fight?
Yeah, but the crazy thing, Bailey and Trey were just kind of there, like they were just in it. They weren't saying anything at that point.
Right.
It was more Jalen and Brandon and Marcel and Joe and other people. Yes. So it got a little heated, but and then Marcel and Joe talked about it afterwards. I posted the picture. Joe told me to take a picture. And I posted on Instagram. They squashed it. And then that was it. So it just kind of like it got heated in the moment, and I'm leaving it out, man. I'm trying to be positive.
Right.
I'm trying to be positive, but
that's how that ended up turning out.
Yeah. And so that set up the team fights for later on that night.
Was there another bracket of teams or something? Was that just?
I missed a lot. I missed a few. I had to make a run.
Was all the teams in one division, or were they split?
No, Legend, All Stars, NKD, which was a Bay Area team.
Yeah, I thought I saw one of Dubla, one of those.
It was Krista Sala.
Krista Sala.
Okay.
Shout out to Krista Sala. He's a loyal listener.
I think there were like 5 teams. We were the first fight, then we fought Legend. Then
I said there's 11 teams.
Well, in our bracket, and then there are the 5 teams on the other bracket.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who was it? Oh, so the other bracket. That's where Tyson them came from.
That's where it's straight up. Yeah,
ATL straight up Brian on the other side.
Okay.
And it was All Stars and Legend down on the other side.
Gotcha.
They're set up, the All Stars versus straight up / next level.
Yeah, I didn't see all of that. I had actually left and came back, but
and then we moved. That was it, and then we moved into the.
And before I go to it, I got a note, so I got to say this. Okay, hi Ashley Floyd. She says we always forget her name. She says we always forget her name, and I'm like,
She did. She was like, I got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, it was Velocity now too.
Yeah, she's on Velocity.
They're on Velocity.
Yep. The whole
Justice.
Floyd squad is on Terry
and
Justice is on there too. So that whole squad is on Velocity now. So
congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations. So yeah, and because I didn't see it, I'm gonna start right here. She won 30 plus women's.
What?
So yeah, so congratulations. Shout out to you, Ashley. And I'm not gonna call you Mrs. Terry Floyd. I'm gonna call you Ashley Floyd. All right.
Is that what you call her? You call
That's
her.
what she said. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the purple hair. And I was like, oh, all right.
And my name is Ashley.
Yeah.
My name.
Yeah.
She said,
that was the odd thing about this weekend is like constantly people kept coming up to you, wanting to talk to you about Emily came up to us and said, hey, I got a bone pick with you guys. Y'all don't have any women on the show. And I was like, well, we don't really have anybody on the show, but I mean,
this is Emily.
Yeah.
Emily.
Yeah. And I was like, we don't really have anybody on the show, but let Alex and Jeff do all that. And they've had a couple women on there, and we've talked about some women issues, but not enough, I guess.
True.
So hey, but we got the 30-minute mark. So I'll say this: if anybody has a topic y'all want us to talk about, send us a message, and we'll squeeze them in at some point. Whatever topic it is, we'll talk about it. All right,
because I got a topic. Because listen, we talk a lot of junk about, well, I do at least, about intros and forms. Listen.
Hey, I don't know.
We got to get rid of no.
But your squad.
Listen, I don't care.
Your squad is notorious for it.
No, yeah.
Your squad is
one
notorious.
Specifically. Two,
all of them. There's a couple of y'all.
Listen,
your squad is notorious for it.
I'm over. I don't care. Listen, I'm over with the bow, touch gloves, shake your coach's hands, run around, do your own coach's hands again, because you already took their hand before you came out and bowed, and then went back over there and got the advice and the dip dap, doop dap, flip flap, that everybody's got their own little team thing, and then they come back out. It's longer than intros and forms, which in my divisions were an average.
The All-Stars doing that for like ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I did
it's been that for way forever for y'all. Y'all are notorious for it.
But
I remember RD's like, yo, hold up. Let me go throw up. I'll be right back.
Listen, RD
they be putting on their gear before they even, like, they call their name. They still standing there putting on their gear, looking around. I'm like,
I never had a ritual. I just kind of would go out and do my thing, come back, tap my coach, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? That was always it for me.
Yeah.
I should have came up with something. That'd have been cool.
No, you shouldn't. You'd have been taking too long too.
Man, listen.
You'd have been like, Codex is like, Codex is kind of long too, though. Yeah. Look, Kodak got a long intro.
Listen,
for his fight.
Yes. Kodak got a long intro.
It was the 27 kids and the 12 to 14-year-olds who did every single fight, talk to their coach, bow,
because they
go over there, give their
role models. Following their role models.
Man, yes. I got to the point where they started doing that and they would go across. I would just run straight through and straight back and do a little dance and wait for them to get back in line. And everybody would look at me. I'm like, that's all ridiculous. Y'all look. Ready, go.
You play with it too.
Y'all started this.
You made it even more entertaining, like just by doing that. They're like, "Oh, he's gonna do it for us too." Like,
y'all started this.
It was ridiculous.
I don't know who started.
I wouldn't say
touching the other coach's hand. When did that start? I mean, I know it started in our generation, but I don't know when it started.
I think
who started doing it.
I think it started when people started going over to the Irish Open and in Waco, and that was just kind of the deal. And then when they had the coaches sitting in the chairs. And I think that kind of just married and just happened.
But you said that the dopest of fight intro, whatever you want to call it. Damon, yo. I used to love Damon's boom, yo. His boom was so dope. I remember when I first Damon Gilbert.
Yeah.
You never experienced his boom? You probably you didn't. When I used to go to California, he used to go. I used to go to California. He'd do his bow. He'd take his arm. He'd go like this, and everybody from his school would just be like, "Boom!" It'd be like a shotgun to hit you. That shit was so dope.
Okay, so he did that at the end. He did that one time when I fought him at the end when he beat me. He did it.
Nah, he would do it. He would do it before.
He did it.
It
was dope. Yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
It was what made it really cool was that the people, because when I was first started, I was out in the Bay a lot, right? So when you're out in the Bay, like that's his area, right? So ideally, like when he did it, like his whole school and everybody was there. So it's like when the whole room just you just got that boom, man. It was fire. But that was about it. That's the only one I knew. And then Raymond came with his thing, and that was the wrap.
Yeah.
Brian Huntley had one, I think.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that came from started from Mike P, and then Ray took it. Yeah, and then Ray took it and turned it into something different. And it was like, all right, are y'all doing this now? All right. Well, this is it now. But hey, it's All Stars who were the ones who started this whole thing. I'm just gonna say that.
I bet you he won't say nothing.
Who won't say nothing?
Chris.
Oh.
I mean, I bet you'd be like, all right, Cap, just go, man. Just go. All right. We ain't got to do all this. Just turn around and go fight. Like, strap your boot and let's go. He won't say that. He'll follow along. He'll do the da-da-da, twist Kevin's hat, turn it back around, put it on his head, put it back over, bump elbows, and they go. Like, you already know. Chris is wanting the little kids to stop doing it because it takes too long.
Man,
when he was judging, now that you're the judge and not the other fighter.
Now you're the judge. What about
it's all from perspective. Absolutely. But yeah, listen, as a judge, that's gotta go. Intros and forms gotta go. Those average 26 to 31 seconds by the time they hit that doom doom with the music and the look and they walked all slow. I could see it. It was on the TV and I could see the time. And every time by the time they bowed and introduced themselves, and they didn't really introduce themselves, they just yelled their name and walked backwards again. And by the time they started and did their little wipe their hands on their legs and then started, 31 seconds. Most of the time.
Wait, you talking about fighting? You talking about forms?
I was talking about them forms kids, yeah.
I thought you were talking about fighting. I'm sorry.
The fighters were probably at least 20.
We lost 7 minutes
seconds
in that, Travis. My bad.
I was about to say we way off right now. Let's go ahead.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. We can bring that back up in another one. All right, so now we get to the nighttime finals. Oh, well, not the nighttime finals. Excuse me. The Friday night fights. Actually, aka Pro Point 5. All right, so this is what I want to say when we get there for Pro Point 5. When I got there and I looked at the setup, that was a dope setup. Like the look of it. And I like the columns that they had with their names. Mm-hmm. I thought that was dope. That I guess is the LED or whatever
LED,
it was.
It's an LED rig, yeah.
Yeah, that thing was dope. I liked how they had the setup. But yeah, so I looked at it. It was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So then we had the Angel versus Jermon side. That looked good. How that whole setup. So Angel versus Jermon. Chris, were you judging this? No. Were you? No, you were judging fighting on Friday night. I mean Saturdays, right?
Saturday
on stage. Yeah. Okay, yeah. But so it was Angel versus Jermon. You want to go through this first, or you want me to go through it? Los, did you see this?
I did not.
Okay.
I only saw that Jermon won.
Yeah. The first technique was a side kick from Jermon that knocked Angel down. Right? And I'm not sure if it scored or if it hit him in the hip or arm, whatever it was, it sent Angel down. And I think that set the tone for the rest of the match. Jermon said it right there saying, hey, my leg is a problem. You're going to have to deal with it. And it's not some weak kick. So with that, why are you looking like that? I know. What? Yeah, I'm looking dead at you. You curling up your mouth.
I did not curl up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I hate. But no, that's what he said. And then he used his length and his kicks to kind of control that first round. And I wrote down, I said, Angel was having a hard time getting around Jermon's leg when he kicks. Jermon should follow up behind his kicks a little bit more, but Angel is bullying his way through to try and get the point. But by that time, Jermon's already hit him about 2 or 3 times. Angel wasn't closing the gap using techniques. He was kind of like
just closing the gap and bracing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And trying to get through.
To absorb and to give. Because it was, like you said, he was having a problem getting around his leg to either kick or get around his leg to punch.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't try and knock him off balance or make him miss or anything like that. Why are you looking like that?
Or even sweep him.
I'm just taking everything that you guys are saying because I didn't see the fight, so I'm kind of like I am trying to
visualize it
and
visualize what I'm seeing as you guys are explaining it to me.
Yeah. All right. So Jermon wins the first round 3-1, 4-3, and 6-3.
What was that score again?
3-1, 4-3, 6-3. All right, so it doesn't really matter.
At the end of it, is it a total score that they take, or is it just
only if it's supposed to be, unless it's a championship, only if they tie. So if one round goes to one round goes to the other, or it's a draw, then it's supposed to. They had the rule before where it went to total points to determine the winner, but I think that was only in the tournament setting.
So it was kind of like a unanimous decision. Because Jamal won every round or won every
Jamal won. No, he won all 3 judges in the first round, so he automatically won that round.
Oh,
in the second round, he had to win all 3 judges again, or 2 out of the 3 to win that second round as well to win the match.
And what was that like?
Travis
for round 2.
Yes.
The intensity is picked up, and they are trading shots. Angel has caught Jay with his hands a few times. Whoa. I don't know what this says because I probably was watching, looking, and typing, but it says, no, I'm about, it's about to be weird. Hella the a beautiful head kick. What?
Hell of a beautiful head kick.
Yeah, I'm assuming somebody did it. Angel rock Jay, and Jay looks gas, and then that's the end of that. The score was 3-3, 6-5, 7-4. Where Jermon wins.
So how maybe it was just the angle. I was gonna say 3-3, then a 7-4. That's kind of like
that's
a difference.
And it is an angle because there's 3 of them sitting around the circle.
Right. And with the winner would be in Jermon. The only issue I didn't particularly care for was that they, like you said, Chris, they don't go to total points. They're going. So at that point, to me, it should probably, to make it easier, it would have been a 10-9 round, but we're getting into that dangerous, what are we type of thing, you know what I mean? So I'm not.
Yes. So you keep the scores and you keep the points and you just kind of figure out a way.
Right. And then at the end of it, did you score enough points? That to me, that makes the most sense. If we're calling it pro point and we're calling points, then the total points should matter in it. Like it shouldn't be a third round unless it's tied after both rounds.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? That's when I think it should be a third round. Yeah. Otherwise, we should be sticking to the score because even in boxing, they still go by the score. Like you won 2 rounds. This judge had it this many rounds that you won. This blah blah blah.
20-18. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me look at this. Right. Right, because we'll get into that. When we get to the last match, because that's where I'm having a hard time visualizing, understanding why it went to a third round. But we'll go.
Correct.
We'll go to it. All right, so now we get into Robbie versus John Mercado, aka Bullet.
Yes.
Los, did you see this one?
So, I'm like Black Rob is like my favorite fighter to watch, probably like of all times. And it froze.
Oh.
You said it froze?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
from what it sounds like, I'm sorry, I'll let you guys go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So this is what I saw in this. What I wrote down. Robbie scores a beautiful side kick, speed on speed, blitzes, and then I said Robbie is catching him with some gruesome side kicks to the body. He was catching John in that first round with
Man, his whole side was red after like the second one, and then it just got worse from there.
Yeah, he was catching them with some nice defensive side kicks. And the score after the first round was 5-2 Robbie, 5-3 Robbie, 7-1 Robbie. And then we get into round 2. Robbie is catching him off the line clean with blitzes. And then Robbie did a cartwheel.
Cartwheel to 540.
That was the second one. I think the first one, remember, he touched the ground, right?
Yeah.
And then they gave him a warning because he was touching the ground. You can't touch the ground.
No. That was the one where he did the cartwheel into the jumped back leg round, like in the like the kickover. And the second one was the one that he hit him.
He did it too. He did it twice.
He did too. The second one was with no hands. Yeah.
Right. The second one was with no hands.
Yes.
But anyway, that tells you that Robbie was in control of the whole match. And controlled the whole entire fight. He won it 3-2, 5-1, and 4-2. Robbie won that second round, and he won the entire fight.
You said his name is Bullet?
Yep.
He's
John
fast.
Mercado.
Yeah.
No,
He is.
Robbie hit him with the Neo from the Matrix.
Right. Listen, he hit one of them with one of the mean left hands. Oh,
this is another one. Thank you.
Yeah. It's John. John is young. He's not there yet. He doesn't have the experience to go up against Robbie yet. And Robbie just showed why.
He'll get there.
Yeah.
He will.
As long as he keeps fighting. Yep. And then we get into the third fight.
Oh yeah.
So now we got to the third fight, which is Christian versus Ryan, which a lot of people have talked about all weekend because of how it ended.
Yes.
Chris, what did you think about the fight? I'm gonna go ahead and start there. I'm gonna let you go into what you think about the fight, not the ending, but just the fight in general.
It's hard to think about that fight without automatically going to that end. I thought it was a pretty decent fight. I had Ryan landing a lot of solid shots. I think I have because point fighters fight like point fighters, so it kind of caused the ending. The head up too far, reaching and looking at what's going on versus a sit down, rotate, stick. I will say before we even get into the rest of that, I think they need to swap out gear. That gear is rough. That gear is rough.
I didn't really look at it.
It's like a brick, and then like you can like feel your hand going through it every single time.
Nice.
Oh, right. But not when you're trying to avoid the knockouts.
Right. All right. So let's get into it. All right, I'll run down my notes real quick. Christian looks like the sharper fighter early. Head kick and a good lengthy push blitz. Ryan comes back with a few straight right hands. Christian is staying low on the blitz twice. Christian went high and was caught with the right hand. At the end of the first round, they say Ryan was up 7-4, and Christian 5-2. Which like I said, like it's just kind of, I don't know. I had Christian winning that first round because I thought Christian
7-4, and then someone had Christian 5-2.
Yep.
Yes.
So what was actually when I look back and thought about this fight, what was happening was I think Christian was scoring by doing points, like right? But Ryan was taking them and then hitting them 2-3 times with harder shots to the body, to the head, whatever the case may be. But Christian was getting off and closing the gap and getting there first.
So he was scoring the point.
Speed versus the power side of it.
Right. But the more impressive shot was Ryan. So I think some of the judges, based off their angle, were not seeing if Christian was touching because Christian was actually just doing a blitz or whatever, and Ryan was sticking him. So it was like, okay, so based off their angles, maybe that's why the score is looking that way. 7-4, 7-4, and 5-2. So it's like, all right, but let's go to the round 2.
Like if it was 5-2 Ryan, that would make it more
right. But it was 5-2 Christian.
That's a switch. Like that's almost like a different fight.
Yeah,
that people are seeing.
That's what I'm saying, because I think that 5-2 is basically that judge was stopping it at who hit first.
Right.
The other ones were just
We're
like
going with who hit harder or who hit more or who hit. Yeah.
So they were giving a certain point. So it was just interesting. So then close
What
second round.
What is it supposed to be?
What?
I don't know. I'm not in the judges meetings. Like we don't.
What do you
really
mean?
Get
If I remember correctly, it is still who hits first, but who scores the most effective shot.
Yes,
if that makes sense. They're determining if that is if they are. I think if they're planting,
the person's blitz may not be an effective blitz.
Correct.
So because in my perception, that's not effective to me. The striking that I see after is what's effective striking.
Correct.
So the person that had
that's the way
striking scored first because they scored with the strikes that was going to actually mean something.
Right.
Correct.
Those and I think that's based off of the judges.
See how I clarified that?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yes. It's the effective slots, but it's all depending on what the judges think should be. So now we get to round 2, and I wrote down close second round. Each awarded a penalty point. Christian awarded 1 point at the end of the round for penalty points. This is where it is 6-6, 7-3, 6-6 tie, 7-3 Ryan, 5-4 Christian. So this one is kind of all over the place at this second round.
That's a draw. Technically,
That's
the second round is a draw. Yeah.
Which I didn't understand.
So one judge versus one judge versus. So it would be 10-9, 10-9, 9-10 is basically how that works. Or 10, 9, 10-10, 9-10.
10-9, 9-10. Yeah. So this is where I had an issue, because this is what I'm thinking. Okay, they're running up the scores, and they should say right at this point, Ryan wins based off of points, of total points. If they had ran off the total points, Ryan would have had 19, 26, 32, 37 points. Christian would have had 10, 16, 19, 23. So in my estimation,
Ryan won.
Oh shoot. Yeah, Christian. I mean, Ryan had won the fight. If you you add up all the points.
Add up points.
Yeah, adding all the.
We're not adding the points. That's not how the rules work.
For some reason this time they didn't do that. Before, that's what they used to do. So I guess they changed.
I think that was like I said. I think that was when they did the tournament setting, and they had to have a winner without having to have one fight have 3 rounds and then move into the next round.
Okay.
So because then that maybe, I mean, that's logically the only thing I can think of.
But if you look at it from the standpoint of how many judges scored the fight, I mean, if you look at it just as a total amount of rounds, not even the total points, Ryan won 3 rounds, Christian won 2 rounds, and
there was one draw.
And one draw. So even in that, it should not have gone to it. But the way they looked at it is Ryan won the first round, and it was a draw the second round, because it was one judge had Christian, one judge had Ryan, one judge had it tied. Didn't matter about the points or anything. They just said because of what judge said who won. So it made it go to a third round.
And then they retired.
Yes. And I can't remember if it was the second round or because I didn't write it down. I think it might have been the third round when Christian got stopped.
When he got the count, third round.
Yes, when he got the 30-second count.
He had got rocked and slightly wobbled once before that.
In the second round.
And no. Well, in the third round as well. He did get slightly wobbled in just like a little whoa in the second round. But in the third round, he got wobbled. Then he got wobbled the second time, and that's when they gave him the count.
30-second count.
30-second count to see if he can recover. And for where I was at, I could hear someone yelling, "If he can't continue, it's over. Stop the match." And
Josh.
Yes.
That was Josh, I believe.
Yes, it was. And then Christian appeared.
Why you say someone if you know it was Josh?
Man, I didn't know if he was going to put his business out there like that, because Josh is the promoter, but he was also saying, "Hey guys."
But Josh is noticing, saying, "Hey." Because John understands why he shouldn't be doing this. Like, yo, if he's hurt, stop the fight.
Right.
And Josh is protecting it, not because it's Ryan, but because it's the right thing to do.
Right, exactly. And then so they let him walk forward, and he looked like he had kind of a little bit more of his composure. He ate a 2-piece, and then he took off that line like he was the fresh fighter, and then ran right into a straight right hand,
into
which
the right hand because he was going
been running
low.
every time.
He's going low. That's how Christian,
right into it.
Christian blitzes. He comes right into the Lions' den. He's coming right into it. He didn't go to Ryan's backside. He went straight in him,
down the pipe, and bang.
And Ryan caught him, and he was out before he even hit the ground.
Yes, unfortunately,
it was actually scary.
Yes.
Now, as a person who was sitting in the crowd and watching the crowd reaction, they stood up and was screaming like happy, like, yeah, wow. And I'm sitting here and I just put my head down like and shaking my head because the only thing I could think of was like that was the worst ending that they could have possibly had. Yes. Because Ryan just got disqualified. There is no championship at this point. It's going to be a no contest. And Christian just got hurt bad. Yes. It wasn't like he got wobbled and fall. No,
it wasn't. It wasn't
out.
Like
it was a scary
sat
thing.
Down and stood back up. Like
people were screaming and cheering, and they were dapping each other up. And I'm sitting here watching this, like I don't think they realize what just happened. Like I don't think they understand the repercussions of what's going on. And I was sitting next to people who actually knew Christian, right? So some people who knew Christian were like behind me, and this little kid was just kind of sitting there with their head down, scared, and was saying basically this guy shaking her, and they said, "Oh, Christian, we just had to make sure Christian's all right. Look, he's sitting up. He's going to be all right. Da da da." And I'm just sitting here, just shaking my head, looking at this like this kid just had to see this guy fight, and for what? And I was just like, "Dang, this is like that's not a good thing." Josh tried to stop it, but for whatever reason, if you have a fighter, a fighter's not going to want to continue to fight. They're not going to want to stop it.
That's a fighter's job.
Stop it. Right. Even though somebody should have stopped it. Because at that point,
when they did that 30 count, when they did that 30 count, I thought it could have definitely been stopped. He looked a little wobbly, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just the escalation of the running into that straight right, like you were saying. I mean, it just happened over and over, and it just as the conditioning kept, depleting, those shots took a little bit more out of him every single time, and it was a culmination of a bunch of those shots that just at the end just turned off the lights. And it was a rough watch. It was man, I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard go at it from standpoint of the promotion, for Christian, for Ryan, even, you know what I mean? It was rough.
Yeah. And that's the end of the fight, end of the night for Friday night. And we're only
only 3 fights for Pro Point?
Yes. It was 4. It was a team. It was a team.
Teams.
Oh, yeah.
It was a team kid fight that
Kevin versus John's team, 4-person, three boys, John. 1 girl.
Right. And I actually did not take notes on that one, so I can't tell you. I mean, I know Kevin's team won, but I can't tell you.
It was kind of Pro Point-ish rules, and so with the
juniors,
they
got to wear their headgear.
Yeah, they wore their headgear and they did all their pads and stuff. But so with that and the throwing and stuff, it was exciting, but it was a little sloppy. And but I mean that's kind of how juniors are anyway. But that's how that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Was the ladies' junior fight there too? And they do the girls' junior fight? Team Legend, girls versus the team. Yeah, they did. Coached by Mr. Garrett, Callie Garrett's dad.
I don't remember.
That was honestly. I think that was the first. I think that was the first thing that happened. I walked in, I think, at the very end of that. But I missed a little bit.
I must have missed that then because I didn't see that when I came in.
Jamon and Angel were about to fight.
Yeah, I think I came in, sat down when Jamon and Angel came in to fight. Honestly, I don't remember. I must have just got there late or whatever, but and missed that part. Yeah. So that was that.
I believe Team Legend won that.
Okay.
And then Saturday.
I missed all of the morning.
Let everybody know who we're sponsored by.
Yeah, we're sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour.
Cool. What's going on?
I'm thinking about what we're gonna do on the post show and do the predictions virtual fight tour predictions maybe on the post show. But I guess I don't know. I'm trying to rush through all this stuff, but
we got a lot, right? There's a lot.
I missed a lot
Divisions.
of that.
It looked like the senior started early, like 9 o'clock.
Senior started at 9 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever. There weren't that many forms guys, and we ran right through them. I judged all the 30 plus guys. We there were good amount, 7 in I think the lightweight division, 3 or 4 in the middleweight. The light heavyweight had 4, and then the heavyweight had 3 or 4.
Nice.
Yeah, was good. I missed it. I got that text about Willie, and that's when I was like, "Oh, they fighting already?"
Yep.
Like, all right, well, let me get up, get ready, and go head over there. Whatever. Got there in time.
Who won that? You said Yaskar won that.
Yaskar won that. Yaskar beat Kodak in the finals.
Yeah.
What was that fight like? What was that score? You were there, right?
Yeah, I think Yaskar won by like 3. I centered that fight. It was a good fight.
New. So that's that. All right. So when I got over there, I was able to see. I was
in. I didn't see it. Don't matter.
No, I mean I can't talk about it.
I didn't see it. It don't matter. And Chris don't remember any damn thing. He was there the whole time.
I'm gonna say this.
I judged it. But again, when you're going through them, you don't really have the time to process them because you're trying to be in the moment. So like that creates a completely different like blur for me. I was trying to watch some of them back that they had online, and so I watched some of them back.
I will say this for if you want to hear about the 30 plus, go listen to Raw. Yes. Willie talks about it. So go make sure you go listen to that. All right, real quick. Just run through what I saw as far as the divisional winners, because I came in, I went into the Havisham room because I saw some people and I was like, oh, well, let me go in here because I think this is where they're doing the black belt adult men's fighting. I did not know they had split into 2 sides where the heavyweights were on one side and the lightweights on the other side, because I think I saw Tyson in there. So I was like, okay, so this is where everybody's going to be at. And I was like, well, they haven't done it. And then I looked over and I saw some women fighting and I went over there to watch them. It was McKenna Pugh beat Neha. It was D-side versus Blitz, and McKenna was getting the 2-point body defensive side kicks and was catching Neha with the Blitz. And then Liana Moore from
Abaya School
beat McKenna 11-7. So I got to watch that, and then it was just
Mouse won, Alexa Fleshman won.
Yeah, but I didn't get to see that. Alexa Fleshman won. She won. Alexa Fleshman actually won open weight Friday for women.
Yes.
Then I didn't see who she fought in the divisions to win, because her and Mouse were the last 2. I saw that fight, but I didn't see the division.
Yes, I saw that fight.
Alexa's the girl from Virtual Fight Tour, right?
Yes.
From
Sean's girl.
Looks like Gina Thornton when she fights a similar
tall version. Yes.
Yeah. Jamal versus Edgar. Jamal won with Blitz. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, that last Blitz. Look, man. Jamal threw a Blitz. Edgar jumped back to try and to do the fadeaway back fist. Jamal kind of like ducked and rolled, and they gave Jamal the point.
They gave Jamal the point?
Yeah, that's how Jamal won. That was the last point. It was like I don't know if it was at the buzzer or overtime, because I was in the other ring. The women were fighting. I was kind of just looking over.
Right.
But I did see that part, and everybody was like, "What in the world is this?" And I was like, "I don't know how he scored that. They gave that point to him. It was random as all heck." But Jamal won that, and I believe that's what he ended up winning the light heavyweight division. I think that was the last fight.
Yep, he won light heavy. Ant won heavy.
So then, light middleweight, Ozzy Areno versus Ibrahim Morales. Ozzy Areno is one of Chris DeSala's students.
Yes. From the back.
And this was kind of funny from the standpoint, I had to write this down because Ozzy kept complaining about getting hit late. And Chris was like, "It doesn't matter. It's fight. Like stop letting him get. I fight." But his right leg is very good. He does a good high to low like hook round, and it's not like a tapping round; it's a slapping round right to your stomach.
So and like when you feel,
yeah, it was catching everybody with. It was like pow, pow, and it was just like sticking it because people would go high and just slap you right in the stomach. He was
so like when he hit the body, you could like hear it hit the body.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you could hear it. Oh yeah, he fought like that in the open weight. He was
it was a good
open weight.
It was a good switch up. Like his leg was a good switch up from high to low and like changing direction, pop, 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 or pop, pop. And he got him and he ended up beating Ibrahim 8-6. Kevin versus Oscar. Starting here with Oscar is up with 29 seconds, 8-6. Oscar got Kevin Walker. Yes, Terrell Walker. Oscar got the lead with a couple of D-side kicks, and Kevin scored primarily with the reverse punches. D-side ties it up. Overtime, sudden death. Oscar doubles it up in a head kick and wins it 8-6. Brandon versus Ozzy. So Ozzy has a quick change up from high hook to low round kick. Brandon makes a miss and is scoring with his left hand reverse punch blitz. Brandon wins 10-5. Brandon versus Oscar.
Does anyone know that Brandon really has like a body punch? Like he just like that's like his move. Like that's like his thing. Like it's body punch.
You can know that he has it. You still can't stop it.
It's usually coming straight. Like it's not like coming from a different angle. It's coming like straight at you.
Yeah.
Like he gets right back in the line and he's coming straight again.
Right at you. And it comes out hard and fast.
All right. So let me get into this Brandon versus Oscar fight because this one I have some thoughts on it because it was just a weird fight.
Okay.
Oscar jumped out to a 3-point lead, right? He caught him with a defensive side kick and then blitzed him. I didn't think Oscar scored. I thought those two shots should have been Brandon's. The whole fight because Brandon scored. Brandon scored first, and the defensive side kick was not there first. It was clear, but Justin was calling over there, and then the two side judges was like, "What?" And then it was like some late calls, but it wasn't like late calls for one side. It was just late calls, period. Like the judges were just calling late. Like it just was ridiculous. And judges are calling Oscar a counter punch to Brandon's blitz. Ties it up 6-6. Brandon runs off two more to win 8-6. Brandon won that, but to me, whatever was supposed to be called that I thought should have been called, the judges went the other way. Like it was just random. Like when Oscar was scoring on Brandon, they were giving Brandon defensive side keys when Oscar clearly was scoring first with reverse punch blitzes or back fists or step ins or whatever. It was just a random thing. Like I couldn't get a sense of what the judges wanted. Even as a spectator, I couldn't get it.
Right.
It was just kind of just random as all heck. So let's get on to that one. So Brandon won that. And that was the end of I believe the light middleweight. Right. Yeah. Light middleweight division. Darren was pretty much the only. It was 4 people in there, and it was really one person in there. Yeah, it was really one person in there. Darren beat kid Kairos, beat him 8-0, and it was quick. Like it was the other 2 fights, Kairos beat the other guy something like that, some 6-0, 7-0, something crazy like that, and then Darren beat the other guy 6-0. Something like it was crazy.
Spread.
Spread. So then we went to. I didn't get to see all of Ant's stuff. Ant won heavyweight.
They beat Terry Lee in the finals.
Yeah. And then Alyssa in the 18+ women's grand. Alyssa fought Mouse. And Mouse won 6. Alexa, yes, excuse me. Alexa fought Mouse, and Mouse won 16-9. Mouse looked good when she was fighting her. She just kind of controlled her. Got up on her.
She pulled the distance through those 3 little hacks kicks right over that arm.
Yeah.
Kind of played. She tried to play catch up and 8 side kicks from there.
Yeah.
That was a high score.
So then I went over and saw the super lightweights. It was the last one fight I saw was John Curtello versus Robbie. When I came over there, that was the final match, I think. No, that was right before. That was yeah. and Robbie beat John 10-6. Then Robbie versus John Mercado for first, I believe.
For
and
first, yeah.
Yeah, he just controlled him at that point and just won it. Yeah.
Robbie's a beast, man.
Robbie's a beast.
If Robbie was 5'10", 5'11", it'd be a whole different conversation in this world of sport karate.
Yep. All right. Colocho versus Robbie. After 1 minute, Colocho was up 5-2. Robbie comes back and it's 8-6. Robbie scores and ties it up at the buzzer 8-8. Colocho follows his round kick with a back fist and scores. Then there's this long debate about if they're winning by 2, and Chris was very vocal about this. If it was you had to win
grand
by
championships, you have to win by 2. For overall grand championships, it's 2 rounds, win by 2. But for a grand champion, it's 2-point win.
Yep. And so they had to. So that means that Colocho was only up by 1, so they had to fight again. We'll finish the rest of the fight, and Colocho did the same thing. Followed his kicks with his left hand and won 10-8.
Yes.
I believe.
As long as you won by 2, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
that's right.
Bailey. I didn't see who Bailey beat. I believe it's Dylan Brandis because I didn't see that fight.
Yes,
so
they had run that one off before.
Yeah,
they had done like the super lightweight division.
Yeah. What is this? Oh, Brandon versus Darren. Brandon versus Darren.
Brandon Blue versus Darren. Yeah, that was a good fight. I saw it online today.
Yeah, they traded back and forth for a 1-1. Brandon scores with a check reverse punch and takes a 2-1 lead. D scores at the buzzer. Because at the beginning of the fight, they were just kind of feeling each other out. Nobody was
really willing to engage.
Yeah, and then once they got to it, they ended the round in 2-2. So they had to go with that. So Brandon scored first, and Darren kicks him in the head to take a 4-3 lead. Brandon comes back and scores with the blitz, ties it up 4-4. Darren comes off the line and gets caught with a defensive side kick. Brandon wins by 2, 6-4. Ant versus Jamal. All right. No score after 1 minute.
Man, listen. I don't know how many sidekicks they didn't like to call. They didn't like sidekicks. But yeah, it was dull.
Ant scores a blitz. And Jamal returns with the side 2-1. Jamal follows his kick with a right hand and scores 3-1. Final score: Jamal wins. Brandon versus Jamal for the overall. Brandon takes a 4-3 lead after 1 minute. B scores a D sidekick to goes up to 6-3. Both exchange punches 7-4 after 1 round. And this was kind of interesting to me because this was a replay of Pro Point 3?
4.
4? Was it
the last one? Yeah, Brian won 4.
Okay.
Ryan beat Brandon, and then Ryan beat Coca for Pro Point 4.
Okay. So Brandon scores a back fist blitz. Jay scores 2 more, 9-6. Then it's 10-8. Jamal scores with a sidekick, comes as 10-10. Brandon runs off 4 straight to win 14-10 and wins the heavyweight grand. And then it was Bailey versus Colocho, and Bailey beat him 16-6.
Yes.
And that was it. Then you get into the finals. Bailey beat. So there was a conversation about if they were going to add another person in there, but a lot of the people who would have gotten added in were Brandon was one, Colocho was one, Oscar was one, but they're all already in the kind of in that last little bit. So they decided not to because Oscar fought Bailey won, then fought Yaskar, beat him, and then it was
Brandon versus Bailey. So Brandon got the bye.
Bailey. Yeah, Brandon versus Bailey, and Bailey won. And that was it. And then it was team fight. I mean, it was a good team fight. I mean, I don't know what to say with that one. It was a really good team fight. It came down to
it was Tyson. It was Tyson fought Jamal.
Yeah, Tyson fought Jamal.
And then Toto fought Brandon. and it was tied after the 2 rounds, combined score, and then it was Kevin versus Bailey.
Bailey versus Kevin. Kevin was up at the end, like
by a good little bit.
By a good little bit at the end of
towards 3 to 4 at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bailey just ran off points to score and win. He was just on fire. Then the question I came up with was, has Bailey gotten better?
Yes.
And I agree with you, Chris. I think he has gotten better. I do think he has gotten better.
Yes.
So as I watched him, it was kind of like because he was killing Colocho, and then he came right out, and because it was 2 rounds, he was up by 8. He knew he was up by 8. Came out and kicked him. Scored a kick, and it was up by 10, and that's it. 16.
That's a controversy kick.
Yeah, the controversy kick, because he just kind of flashed it to his butt.
He kicked him. He kicked him in the body before the head kick, and then the head kick doesn't really score. It was the body.
It doesn't. And some people were saying that Colocho scored on that side. On the other side, kicked Bailey in the face, possibly. But
from the angle that's online, it does.
Yeah,
but the first body kick still scores.
Mm-hmm. So
but Bailey was on fire all weekend.
Yeah, he was. They basically swept the tournament. He won open weight, won lightweight, and then they won teams.
Brandon won heavy. Yeah, and they won teams. It was straight up affair.
Yeah. All right. And that was the Battle of Atlanta, people. That was the review on the Battle of Atlanta. Good showing. A lot of good fights. As you can see, there was a lot of different things I was able to see and just take notes and just watch. So yeah, it was good to see everybody. Got a chance to catch up with Ray for a little bit. That was fun.
That was it for me, man. I got to kick it with the whole squad.
Yeah,
we missed you, Los.
It was nice. It was actually every time I was looking, I was like, damn, I miss this, man. It wasn't that should have went. I didn't want to. I just miss my dudes. I want to hang out with my dudes. I don't care about a tournament. Let's go somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Let's just. But I just want to give. Can I give a couple shout outs?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, of course.
First, I want to give a shout out to Tyson. From the clips and the things I've seen in the video, just watching his calmness and his poise, getting in there with the dogs and really getting out there. I was really, really impressed. Obviously I've been watching him, but to me, I still look at him as a kid. You get what I'm saying? And to see him out there with the adults and just getting out there and really kind of keep, doing this thing and getting busy and also like just staying poised. Like, you mean, some of these young kids, you don't know how they're going to respond to certain things. And he was just poised through all of his fights, no matter how it was happening, what was happening. So I was really impressed by him. And then I want to give another shout out to my little bro, Jamal, getting out there and having a great, great weekend for him. Not fighting as much in a long time to get out there and really, he was like he was in like everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every time I go online, he's somewhere fighting.
Open weight.
You see him doing his thing, man. It was really cool to see him get back out there and see him kind of getting back to that groove that he had, some years ago. Just he seemed like he was having fun, like me just being out there. So big shout outs to those two. Are my low shout outs. There we go. I'm gonna start having a low shout out. There we go. That's it.
Closest favorites of the day.
And Ashley, congratulations, Ashley.
Exactly.
I wasn't even there, and I felt the energy. So congratulations, Ashley. Congratulations.
And congratulations to Mouse, because she won overall.
Yes, she did. And
Mouse
she won
Milner,
and then she won in the finals as well. She won.
Yep. She beat Alexa
again
5-4, and that was a closer fight.
Much closer fight.
Much
the
closer
ultimate
fight.
grand or whatever they're calling it. But yeah, the overall thing.
That's awesome. And then what was it? Kamek and Katana versus Avery and Morgan.
What? Oh, that thing.
Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry. We gotta go to live now, right?
No, we about to talk about Virtual Fight Tour real quick.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh my God.
We're picking our fights right now. We're gonna pick our fights, and we're gonna do that. We're
gonna pick the fights. Let's pick the fights.
All right. We gotta pull it up. Can't nobody else see it but you.
Well, we got a replacement.
Can I go to it? Go ahead.
So we have a replacement because of how this weekend went. Christian is out, and Mike Lettieri is how you say it. From whatchamacallit? Dang it! Why am I just trying to blank? Yeah. Leclerc's.
Leclerc. I said
From
Levert.
Levert's. Gerald.
The Leverts?
Gerald and Eddie.
Yeah.
They putting them on now. But
Is that the kid that fought the last time against
yes.
Floyd, young
Justice.
Floyd? Justice?
Yes, he fought Justice.
And he's fighting Tyreek?
He's fighting Tyreek. He stepped in on a less than a week's notice to fight Tyreek. So that's going to change the little bit of that dynamic that we were talking about of that fight.
All righty.
You got it there, Trevi Trav? Director.
Yeah, got it. Hold on real quick. Because I can't. I think the Tyreek versus Michael is the first fight.
Yes.
Yep. And I don't have their face off. So it's just,
just pull up the whole poster then.
For what? I got the big ones. We know who's fighting. Nobody's gonna see it. So
fair enough.
Yeah, no. It's not. It's too much. It's late notice.
I'm going to do the same thing with that.
Yeah, it's late notice. I'm going Tyreek. There's not much to say about it. I think Tyreek's the better fighter. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I got right there on that fight.
Yep. I agree with you.
I'm going to go with Tyreek.
Alrighty. Let me see if I can share my screen. All right, so the next fight will be Tyson Ray versus Jason Latona.
The Jason fight at the Battle of Atlanta this weekend in the adults?
Did who?
The Jason fight at the Battle of Atlanta in the adults?
Oh, they weren't there.
They weren't there.
I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and give y'all expertise on this. Why?
I too, I'm going with Tyson. I've just watched the Evolution, and I watched it live. The Revolution will be televised. Jason is doing really well, and I've seen some things that he's doing down in Mexico. Like at the last tournament, he looked like he was doing well. But
was he fighting with the adult?
I don't recall. Yeah. I don't know if that was an adult thing or a set fight or what that was that they were doing on stage, because I didn't get to see a lot of the division stuff. But he's looking good too. But my money would be on Tyson.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on Tyson as well. I just think Tyson he's just putting in too much work, man.
Right.
Like too much work. Like he's really putting himself. He's throwing himself to the wolves and he's eating them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
He ain't just throwing himself to the wolves just so he can learn. He eating them. Like he going and taking chips, man. He getting at people. So yes. I think that's 100%. That's gonna be a huge difference.
And I think with this weekend, coming off of this weekend, moving into that, being a 3-round fight, who makes the adjustments and who can do that, plus toes. I gotta go with Tyson.
The last time we saw the Jason kid fight, he fought that Alex kid, right? Alex from JPM.
Did he fight Alex? I thought he fought Manny. No, Tyson fought Manny. Yeah, he fought Alex.
He fought Alex, right? And the Alex kid was pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And it was a good fight for the most part, right?
Yes.
Because Alex kid was he was coached by Ross.
Yes.
But just from if I'm just going off of that fight that I saw, Tyson's a whole different beast than the Alex kid was. That's just, if I'm just going by that, me only seeing Jason and then watching Tyson over the last 8-9 months that I've been watching him kind of doing his thing.
Yes.
It's just a whole different level. Like it's just, I believe there's different levels to it, and it's to see it in the juniors is going to be crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Just when I say juniors, but Tyson is fighting as me as an
adult now. Yeah. So
that's just I don't know. I don't want to say it's going to be lopsided because I can't really say that.
I
feel Tyson is going to have a significant victory.
Yeah, I do too. I think it'll be a sizable win. Not like a 7 to 10 point spread or anything, but I do think it'll be 1 or 2 points each round.
I'm gonna probably go about 6 points.
So you're gonna go about 6'2" around.
I'm gonna say probably 2 around. I could 6'6", or I could see I can see Tyson like figuring out what Jason actually really does after the first two rounds,
right?
And literally just kind of just, and that's the thing. Like I don't know if Tyson gives that much of a window to his opponent that you can figure him out.
Right, and he's constantly making those adjustments with you.
Yeah.
So he'll go forward, he'll go backwards, he'll use his leg, he'll push off the body punch, he'll back fist, like he'll step in. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of adjusting. He'll move off on an angle.
And I think Jason's still young. Like he's still, to me. I don't know. I only seen from the one time that I watched him fight, but from that fight, I was able to draw a picture of who I see him to be. And to me, he still seems to be very young still, and just
behind the ears and
in his state, of becoming the champion that he wants to be. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
And you know, just that to me, that's just gonna be the difference between the two of them. Like you mean, like Tyson, he don't fight like a kid.
No, not at all.
You know, he don't fight like a kid. That's a huge difference.
And he hasn't in a little while. So
that's a huge difference if you're fighting like a kid and you're not fighting like a kid. Like, and I just think that's gonna be the difference in that fight.
I did too. And when you put it in 3 rounds and you put it in a cage like that, you know, that's gonna, I think, be a big difference maker.
Yeah, I think basically with the cage and being the more active fighter, I'm going with Tyson. In this one,
not just active fighter, Trav. He's not fighting juniors, man. He's fighting men.
Yeah.
He ain't fighting kids. Like he fighting men. When I say kids, juniors to me are kids. He fighting men. He fighting kids.
Yeah.
That's different, man. That's different.
Yeah,
right,
man.
Makes it a different animal.
In his backyard, I just see Tyson winning.
And he ain't been phased by these men. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they ain't even phasing him.
No.
Like, I just want to hit him just to see what he does. But, you know, I have to deal with his daddy, but that's something different.
That's a whole nother other point, right?
The thing is, but what I'm saying is,
it.
Huh? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, look at you like so New York.
Yeah.
No,
the craziest thing is, like, I feel like if you hit him, he gonna be like, all right, you hit me, but it was kind of slow. So now I'm gonna hit you in between the time that you trying to hit me 3 times before you hit me.
Yeah.
And that just irritate the hell out of somebody, and then just be like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm just keep trying to hit him.
This kid is getting with a chair.
I think he did that. Who was he fighting? He was fighting somebody that was like a bigger guy over the weekend. It was like the dude tried to hit him a couple times, and after that, Tyson was like pop, 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 pop. Who was it? It was somebody in one of the, I don't know if it was open weight or what. It was dude that was a heavier dude, and he just went at him.
It's probably an open weight.
Yeah, it has to be open weight.
Maybe teams on that bracket, but I think it was open weight.
Yep. So there we go. Who's next?
All right. On the next one, we got what? Bailey and Enrique, the brother, versus Bailey. And again,
Bailey sent an email. I mean, a message to us and said it's a 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Bailey. So, and once again, Bailey have been fought in the virtual fight tour plenty of times.
Being
pro point
after tournament, NGO tournament after tournament, battle,
going everywhere. And I have seen him getting better. I just look at it from the standpoint that I can't go against Bailey on this fight. Like I just can't. Like as good as Enrique is, I just don't.
Yes, he is.
I just don't. I don't see it right now. I just don't see, especially with how Bailey handled Oscar. Like I just don't see it, man. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. But Bailey's a different type of monster, man. I just don't think Enrique will beat him in a 3-round match. I always think the better fighter comes out of 3 rounds. So,
agreed.
Yeah,
being the bigger fighter, says it's not the bigger fighter, but Bailey's presence is much bigger than how that works. Being able to cut off the ring and utilize the cage, with Enrique's predominantly kicking. I'm 100% with you, Trev. I got Bailey on this one. It's very, very hard to go against him right now, especially what I just saw over the weekend. Like, good luck with that. You're a talented kid and young man, and I think at a certain point you can do it. I'm not sure right now in this 3-round fight is going to be the first or the next opportunity that you're going to be able to do it.
Do what?
Yeah. Beat Bailey.
Oh.
Yeah, I just don't think it's Enrique's
I just don't listen. I think right now, yeah, I think it's going to be the Be Real show.
Yeah. Los?
I already told y'all who I picked last week. Like, that's a wrap. And my point was proven by this weekend at the Battle of Atlanta. Like, my point was proven and I didn't even give him the shout out like I'll get a shout out for Jamal and Tyson, because this would already perceive him to do. Like, I already see him in that light. You know what I mean? So, like, these dudes, coming back and then coming into, like, he there. Like, you mean, like, it's like he there.
And he's been there and he keeps doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look forward to the years of him and Tyson figuring it out. That to me is going to be a great
and D-Stacks and how that works.
I look forward to Bailey and Tyson figuring it out.
Yeah.
That's two different. But we're talking about this fight, right? I got Bailey.
Fair enough.
All right. So now we go on to Oscar versus Avery.
Why don't you go first, Trav? I mean, just
Avery,
because I have no idea who you're picking.
It's Avery. I'm biased. It's Avery. Y'all make y'all reasons why I'm picking Avery.
So I'm just gonna go with to me, I mean, Oscar's been fighting, man. He's been active. I think he's fought like in 3 or 4 events already this year. The whole COVID thing. Mm-hmm. He fought this past weekend. He fought really
in Pro
well.
Point.
Fought in Pro Point. Like, you mean,
fought really well.
And then you guys say, did he beat Avery in teams or something like that? Did you guys say that?
I believe so. Yes, at one point he did.
It was like, okay, so now I mean, I just personally feel that because he's been the active fighter. And he's been kind of getting out there, and Avery really hasn't done anything like in a whole year almost, right?
Over a year.
Yeah, over a year. So I'm gonna probably just go ahead and just pick the active, non-active fighter in Avery, and that's who I'm going with. I'm gonna go with Avery.
I know you were going there. Like, you could say all that. I know where you're going.
I'm going with Avery. Although I would be curious to see how Avery does in the cage.
Correct.
Because of his wider stance. Right, and he needs a little more space to move and do things as well, right? So, and he's a taller, longer fighter. So I'll be curious as to how he adjusts to that 1 or 2, 1.5, because most people probably 2 pushbacks. Yeah, most people probably 2 pushbacks. Him would probably be like 1.5 pushback, and he's already
right. If he takes a full second pushback, he's bumping right into that fence.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see how he hit. That's probably what's the most intriguing part to me right now, is to see how Mr. Plowden is going to react being inside that cage, not having as much space as he used to having and what he needs, because he is a longer fighter. So even for him to kick, he's got to be able to have space to be able to do that. So he either have to make sure Oscar's back enough, or he's got to be able to create some space back so he can come forward. So I'll be curious to see how that all works out. How was that? That was pretty good. I thought that was pretty good myself. But go ahead, whoever wants to go.
Yeah, that was good. But I think we're all in unanimous decisions on all 4 of these fights. I'm also going with Avery. Oscar looked really good. He did. But the adjustments, not really adjustments, but how Bailey fought Coca, with Avery being longer, and with I think just his skill set, I don't think it's going to be. I think this is going to be a one-sided fight.
Like one-sided, like how? Give a point
to Avery. I already said Avery.
What's a point total? I know, but what do you mean by one-sided? Like if he only wins by like 2 points, that's not really one-sided. That's like a close fight.
Nah, like 6, 7, more. Maybe it depends on how Coca uses his leg, and if he can push maybe Avery back and get him to get on that, and then rattle off some kicks, because Coca's got a good leg. But they do 1-point body kicks as well, right? So that
Exactly.
kind of deviates and
So
takes
in
a
order for
little
him to
bit
get
away
that
of the
2
score.
points,
He's going to have to take it up to
head.
Avery's head, and Avery doesn't get kicked in the head too often. So again, and not like it can't happen. I've seen it happen, but I don't think
happened? I don't think the head or him losing.
Yeah, Avery getting kicked in the head. I've seen it happen once or
Oh.
twice. Like, no, but I don't see that happening over the course of 3 rounds consistent enough to give him a lead for what Avery's going to do. I just don't.
All right.
Solid.
All right. So let me stop sharing. All right. Woo, that was a longer one. We still got it under 2 hours, so we got an hour.
So we're not hitting inside scoop times.
No. Well, we you know, this is a normal inside scoop for them. I keep screaming at them like, hey, keep it to an hour.
Right. This is like the one I did with Alex and Jackson. We was like, hey.
Yeah, like, hey,
wrap it up. We need the wrap it up button.
Yeah. So, and Fish Kicks and Flicks, they be trying to go over to hour 20. I'm like, yo, hey.
Hey, we talk about movies, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, come on.
Chop, stay fast.
Yeah. All right, we got anything else?
And we got our predictions. Battle. There was a ton of stuff.
And still, I mean, I just wanted to go over what happened at the battle, not like things we saw that need to be improved on as far as like sport karate. Yeah. Not necessarily. More so
action.
just
there was a ton of action.
It was a ton of stuff happening, man.
Shout out little Justin Migo. He killed it this weekend. There was a bunch of kids fighting. I mean, it was actually really good. It was really good. It was awesome to watch and look back and see sport karate like jump back. Like people were itching. You could tell. All the rings in the middle, the two little side rooms, the stage room. There's that one room downstairs. They tag teamed it up with the premiere thing. There was an ATA tournament in the building around the corner. Like it was crazy. It was a big week for karate, like in one spot.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. How much stuff was going on in that area. Yeah.
I think that's about that, though. Other than that, you got to make sure y'all get y'all tickets for Virtual Fight Tour.
That is correct. This Saturday, the Virtual Fight Tour is 9. Virtual Fight Tour 9 at 6 p.m. June 26th. Go to vfttv.myuventex.com and go into it and enjoy the show, people. All right. That being said, we are out of here. We did not have any music, but you know what? So
that's what it is.
Enjoy it. We'll talk to y'all later.